Now let's take a look at ascending and descending sorts and those nulls that I've been talking about previously in this chapter. So here once again is the basic syntax for the order by clause. Sort by column, expression or position. And this is what we're interested in this particular movie, where we want to talk about ascending sorts, in other words ASC, descending sorts, DESC, and then where we put the nulls, because the nulls get sorted in a funny way sometimes that you wouldn't actually expect, but it does make sense. Here's an ascending sort. An ascending sort says, okay, take the A's and put them first, then take the S's and put them last. So you're going from A to Z. That is the default in any order by clause that you may have noticed so far throughout this course. A descending sort simply sorts in reverse. In other words, it's going from Z to A in this case. Nulls are a funny thing, in that when you sort ascending, the nulls will always go to the end of the sort. So if you wanted an ascending sort, and you wanted to see the nulls at the top, you'd have to say ascending nulls first. If you said ascending nulls last, there's no point including the nulls last because they get sorted last anyway. Similarly, nulls last only applies when you're doing a descending sort, although you can include nulls last when doing an ascending sort. It just doesn't have any effect. As you can see here, the null values are actually above the filled show dates in nulls first. In other words, you sort the null values first before the values that have dates in them, and similarly nulls last puts all the null values at the end. So now let's go back into the same pattern again of showing you how to do this stuff by example. First of all, let's look at ascending and descending examples, and then we'll progress on to the nulls first and nulls last. So I'm pasting in these query examples, and first of all let's do select star from category, and here's my data. It's not sorted in name order because the parent ID null values appear at the top, because that's the way I added the data. So now if I do select star from category and I order by name, by default I get an ascending sort. So here you see A at the beginning, B, C, and so on and so forth. If I go down here, I'll find T, U down towards Z. And I can also demonstrate this from category, order by name, ascending. On the column, I'm sorting the column in ascending order. And here we have, again, A, B, C, etc. Now I can change the sort order and sort it in reverse. And I'm sorting the names in descending order. It starts at W and it finishes at A, if we can find that row. Reverse sort, or a descending sort. Here in this case, I'm sorting the category and the parent ID. I'm ordering by name descending, so I'm pulling the specific columns. So I'm just showing you that it doesn't have any effect what columns you're pulling. Now in this case, it starts to get a little interesting, because what we're actually doing here is we're sorting two columns. And as you can see here, the descending applies to each column. It doesn't apply to the entire order by clause. So you're going to sort category ID descending, and then within that you're going to sort parent ID descending. That's not necessarily the best example. So let's do this. Let's take that and change this to a name. You should get a different result that makes better sense. So let's change that name and also change the parent. Given that the category ID is unique, we don't get resorting of values too easily. So we've got parent ID. So here we've got parent. So we've got 4 at the top, and then we've got 1 at the bottom, and then within, let's say 3, we've gone T, M, C, B, and so on and so forth. Reverse order. Okay? And here's another example And I would actually like to change this to column 1 because it's the same as the example above. The category IDs are all unique. There's 34 rows. It doesn't really demonstrate a sort within a sort too well when using the category ID. So in this case, I'm going to order by 1 descending, which is parent ID, and within that I'm going to again do name, which is exactly the same as this one here. Okay, so here again, if I go down here and I search for 3, I can see that 3 is coming after 4 and before 2, and I'm going from T back to C, or actually T back to B. Theatre back to ballet dance. We can obviously mix descending and ascending. So once again, what I'm really going to do here is to make this simple. I'm going to do 1 and I'm going to do 2. So guess what happens here? In fact, I'm going to do 1 and 3. So I'm going to sort by parent ID descending and then the names ascending within the parent ID. So I've got a reverse order of parent IDs. In the name column, we've now got everything sorted in alphabetical order from A to Z.